All right. And my name is Kate with Scott Leroy Marketing. Today we're going to be covering campaigns. And with that, I know there is a huge section in Command for campaigns, but with that, our focus today is going to be on creating email campaigns in Command. So we're going to go over how to create a custom campaign, email campaign, as well as taking a look at some of the templates that Command has. So we're going to take a look at customizing those, and then, of course, how to send it out through command. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to log into our command platform. If you're not sure how to access command, that's going to be agent.kw.com. You're going to log in with that username and password. Username won't be case sensitive, but your password will be. If you're having any trouble logging in, there was some resets recently, so you may just need to reset your password again. And if it is asking you for an email verification code and you are not receiving that verification code, you will want to reach out to your Market Center staff so that they can confirm and update that recovery email for you if needed. Um, but let's go ahead and move forward. So the first thing we want to do for our email campaigns is we want to take a look at our marketing profile and command. And the reason we want to take a look at that marketing profile and command is because a lot of that information in your marketing profile is going to feed over to your email designs. So to access that marketing profile, we want to click on our name in the top right corner. And from there, we want to go to settings. Once we're in settings, we want to take a look at the left-hand side and click connect settings. Oops. Sorry, I'm trying to let people into the room and I bumped a button. And from connect settings, you want to check out the marketing profile. Um, Now from there, you want to make sure that first your marketing profile is turned on and has a green light. That means that that information on this profile is feeding over to your KW website, to your brand and consumer app, as well as to the various different marketing through command. For example, today, the marketing in here feeds directly to those email campaign templates. So we want to make sure we have a photo of ourselves here. That is required, recommended to be the 360 by 360 size. That just makes sure that your head is not chopped off, your chin is not chopped off, it's not blurry, distorted, or anything like that. So that size is recommended for that reason. Now, the team logo, this is one that's not required, but we do strongly encourage you to have something here. If you're not on a team, you don't have to have a team logo. You could also put your headshot here again. You could use a generic Keller Williams logo, not specific to your market center. Or if you've branded yourself as a single individual agent, you can also include that here. But we definitely recommend having something like that, specifically for the email templates. In some cases, it does pull that. And if you don't have a photo, it's going to appear like a broken image. Now, moving down, we have our agent details. So, first and last name, your agent license number, um, and then some other details. Your bio is another one that's going to be required. That doesn't feed to these email templates today, but it's super important for your website and things like that. Moving down, mobile phone number, office number, your email, and then website. Another one that's not required, but we strongly recommend having that added there. Um, your market center information. So this would be where you would include that specific market center logo for your office. If you don't have that logo, you can click this little hyperlink and it will redirect you to kwconnect.com. Now, most likely, if you're signed into Command, it's going to have you signed in here. From there, you're just going to scroll down till you get to this search bar. You can search Market Center number or Market Center name. Now, I'm just going to pick a random number today, and we're going to do 654. So you'll see that we now have the Market Center. And if we were to type a different number here, let's do um, if we just were at Market Center 88, if we type 88, it's going to pull every Market Center that has 88 in it. So you'd want to make sure you find your specific one. You can preview that, make sure it's correct, and then you can download that folder. Now, once we download that folder and it's all done, whoops, we'll have a folder on our computer. I'm gonna just extract that. And then we have a folder with a few more folders in it. Now, for the logos that you're probably looking for, you're probably going to look under the CMYK folder. If we click on that and we do view, you'll see we have a few different color options, formats, but this is where you can find those logos if you're not sure. You can also, of course, check out those black and white ones. They do have different color options and formats there. These are great if you're creating designs in Command because you may want a different color. Your reds may not show if you're using a red background or something like that. So that's where you can find your logos if you're missing it. Again, all of your other Market Center information. Next, we have compliance. So if you have any compliance that's required, if you're not sure, you can reach out to your Market Center staff. They can direct you on that. Um, that includes any links that you may need, images, and then below that you have your social media handles. So you can include those here. These would be the full URL, not like your Instagram handle. And if I said handle, I do apologize. But when you're putting it here, you want the full URL for your public profile. And then if you do have Google Analytics, you can include that here. Once you're done with your marketing profile, you just want to make sure you hit save. And from here, we're going to head back to our homepage. Um, I just want to apologize if you do hear any background noise. We do work from home. I have a little one in the background. She's entertaining herself, but if you hear her at all, I may mute just to save your ears a little bit. All right, guys, once that loads. All right, guys, from here, we want to head into the design section of Command. So if you're not familiar with that, you can hit the red and white KW to expand those. You can also simply hover over those different icons, and it will let you know what they are. We're going to head to the one that looks like a paintbrush with a canvas behind it. And then once we're here, the next thing we want to do is first I want to mention if you don't have any designs here, that is 100% okay. These are designs previously created in this account. So if you don't have anything here, you may not have created anything yet. But we're going to hit Create Design in the top right corner. And from there, we want to select Email and Next. Now, from there, we're brought into the various templates that KW provides. There are a few here. Now, you can, of course, use one of these and fully customize it. You can also create your own from scratch. You can also import HTML, so just keep that in mind. That is here as an option as well. But we're going to go back for a second. And we're going to start from blank first because I first want to go over all of the different pieces that you can include as well as the layout options, and then we'll take a look at a template after the fact. So once we are in our email design creator, we have the ability to name our design. Now this is for internal use, so nobody else is going to see this. So I'm going to name it 1114 class. You don't have to save that. Once you're done typing, you can just click out of it and it will save that. We have a couple of little icons here. One is for your desktop. That's allowing you to see what that email would look like on a desktop. You also have the tablet version, which will adjust it. And then you have a mobile device, which will adjust it again. That just allows you to view how it's going to appear on those different types of devices. Now, in doing that, there's no way to edit it to be a certain way for just mobile or tablets. When you're creating these, you just want to make sure you're checking those out to make sure that they are good to go. But there's no real way to adjust it just for mobile or anything like that. Now to the right, we have the view components. We have the little eyeball, which allows us to take a preview and see what that looks like again. We have the undo and the redo option. Up in the right, we have the options to preview and download the template, save, save and close, and just close out. Um, Now we have the blocks and we also have background. So you do have the ability to create a background color. You can also add an image. Totally optional for you if this is something you want to do. Let's just grab a color so you can see what it looks like. So if we wanted to do red, adding padding um, should add some space around that. Oops, we don't want to do that. Let's go back. It should add space around it. I don't see it doing that, so they may need to update that. But again, you can also add an image, which will allow you to pull one straight from your computer. I'm going to turn this back to white because I don't know about you guys, but I don't want a white or a red background for my emails. Um, Now, the next thing we want to do is we're going to go back to blocks. Now, this allows us to determine if we want to create a specific layout or if we just want to start pulling in our pieces over here. So you can create columns. To do that, you just click on them and drag. And once you see that green line, you can drop it and it will put that in that specific place. If we want to do 2 columns, same thing, drag, drop. 3. We can also do the 3, 7. We can also add a divider. So we can do that under 1 column or the entire thing if you want to. And it's going to add like a little space there. Now, when I click off that, it has a line. We can adjust that line. Let's say we want that to be red in this case. Um, We'll do 10. That makes it thicker. So that height is going to make that line thicker. So if you want a divider, you can, of course, use that. You can also left, right, center, all of those good options. I'm going to leave it center and we're going to go back. Now, you don't have to input layouts in order to get started. That's kind of an optional thing. If you put one and you decide you don't want it, you can, of course, delete it by clicking on that and hitting that little trash can. I'm going to go ahead and delete all of these. We're going to start with just a blank one here. So I'm going to close the layout. And we're just going to still start pulling all of these pieces in so you can see what each of them do. So I always like to start my emails with my legal header. If I could get it where I want it. And my legal footer. Now, as I build my email, I can drag that down so that it's at the bottom. Now, once I'm viewing this, this is where I like to point out that your marketing profile that we covered at the beginning of the class really comes into play. So you can't edit these text fields. This information is pulling from that marketing profile. If you want to make sure everything is pulling correctly, you're going to click that little preview and it's going to show you all of that information. Now, really quickly, what I want to do is go back to my marketing profile. And I'm going to save this just because I'm not sure I have it on my. I'm going to remove that for 1 second. And I'm going to refresh this. It's still there. Oh, I didn't hit save, did I? That would be why. Gotta save those profiles, guys. There we go. So now when we preview that, you'll see that they no longer have the broken image. So you should be okay if you don't have one there. But that's where that team logo is going to really come into play. So that's why you're going to want to make sure that that's included when you're creating these. Sorry, guys, I might muted my mic. Give me 1 second here. Okay. Sorry about that. The next thing we want to take a look at is we're just going to start pulling each of these in. So I'm going to add the text. Now, again, that line's going to tell me where it's going to show. I'm going to then start editing this. So by clicking on that, you'll see on the right-hand side, I have the edit text. I'm going to name this November newsletter. We're just going to keep it simple. I can also highlight that, change the font if I want to, change the size of it. I can make it bold, underline, italic. I can change the color of that. Let's go with like an orangish color for fall. Um, Now, one other thing I like to point out is this box right here. These are merge fields, or merge tags. So if you were to add one of these, it would pull in that information from your marketing profile for your agent information. If you scroll down, you'll see you have Market Center information. That will also pull from your marketing profile. Now, down at the very bottom, you have some contact merge tags. If you were to include this merge tag, it's going to add that contact's first name when you're sending out an email. Um, so we're going to go ahead and leave that there just as a sample. And I'm going to go ahead and click done. I'm just going to do a quick preview so that you know how to make sure that this merge tag is working properly. So if we click the little eyeball now, it still says contact first name, but we have a new little box up in the top right corner where we can select a contact's name and it will plug that in. We used to get a lot of questions. People would send a test email to themselves and it would still say contact first name. Uh, if you're sending a test email, it's just an email address you're entering, so it's not associating that test email with a contact name. So this is the best way to check and make sure that that is working properly, is by using that little drop down in the top right preview. We're going to go ahead and go back. Now, the next thing we're going to pull in is an image. So I'm just going to drag an image right below that. And from here, you'll see that I have some images that already populate. These are going to be images that I have previously used on an email design. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this top one, and we're just going to hit save. Now, as you can see, it adds my photo. Now that my photo's there, I can make this photo clickable. So if I want people to be clicking on this and redirected somewhere else, I can grab that URL. I can do link to, and I can click either landing page, merge tag, web address, but I can go ahead and put that there. So when I send this email out, if they click on that image, it's going to redirect them. Now we again have the width, we have the padding. This adds, as you can see now, it added some space at the top. You can see the photo go up and down. That's what it should have been doing on that background. It's just creating space around it. Now we can also position it left, right, center. We can include a border around it if we want. Let's see if I can make a bigger one. It's not adding it. It's okay. Every once in a while, Command doesn't do what we want it to. That's all right. But from here, I'm actually going to remove this because we don't need all that space. We're going to go back. Now, the next thing we have is a button. So if I wanted to add a button, whether it goes with this photo or not, I can add that. Again, I can link that. Let's grab something. Let's say I want them to fill out a form. I'm just going to come grab a quick form for our newsletter. We're going to add that to the design. Again, link to web address. Now I can change what the button here says. I can say sign up here. Let's click here for more information. Whatever you want, it's going to adjust that as you type it. I can do fill container. That's going to make that go all the way across the email. I can also just leave it how it was, fit the content. That's totally up to you, personal preference. I can change the color. I can even use my little dropper if I wanted to pull the exact same color from my image. I can change the font of that text in the box, as well as the size. The text color can be changed. We're going to leave it white. We don't want it to be too hard to read. Again, you have your padding around it. You can also do a border here. So this will put a border around that image. Let's grab a blue so it's easier to see. And we can make the width of that a little bigger. As you can see now, bright blue box around that button, giving it a border. I'm going to remove that. We don't necessarily need that, but want to show you how to do it. So those are all of your options for buttons. Again, could be for whatever you want. If you want somebody to, if you're sending out a newsletter for all of your upcoming events or you have giveaways, you could do a Google form or anything like that to have them sign up or click on that. Now, next, we've already done the legal header at the top. and the legal footer. So next is our listing block. So again, I'm going to drag and drop that over. Now the listing block gives you all of the listing details. Now you can automatically fill this from a specific listing or of course add it yourself. I like to do the listing option though. So doing autofill from listing, this is where we can pull in our listing. And I grabbed an address over here that I'm going to go ahead and pull in. Now you can search by MLS number, KWS ID. You can show all listings or just your own. So those are all of the filter options here. I go ahead and search. We're just going to go ahead and click this one. This is the one we're going to go ahead and add. So once I have all of my listing details, I do need to select the photo that I'd like to include. But once I've done that, I can hit select. And as you can see, it's plugging in all of the other details over here. So I don't have to adjust that. However, you do want to verify it's pulling the correct information. And if you need to adjust anything, let's say you also wanted to redirect them to this exact page on your website. So I have the URL already, but this is the page I want them to go to. I can link that to that specific web address so they can go over to that and check out the full listing. Again, fonts can be changed, your text color can be changed, the padding around it, the position. You can also do the layout change. So if we were to do vertical, it just change how that looks. Again, this is something you may want to check out for here. Mobile, it's going to be that way anyway. So I just like to point that out. It is going to alter it just because when it's the other way, it's a little harder to see on a mobile device. So we'll go back though. And you can add as many listings as you'd like. So if we had more featured listings we wanted to promote, we could of course add another listing block. You can add 2, 3, 4, however many you want. I'm going to go ahead and remove that. We're just going to leave the one for now. Now the next content that we have is the event block. So we can pull that over. Now an event block is going to give you a photo. It's going to give you a date and time. It's going to give you the title of the event as well as a place for a description. It also includes a button. So where we were adding this up here, if it was for an event, we may be better off using something like this, but totally up to you. We're going to go ahead and start editing this. To edit this, you're going to click on each individual piece within that. So first thing is the photo. We're going to click on that and hit replace. Again, it's going to pull up those previously used photos. We can also get to listing photos here. We can also add new photos. So if you have a new image you need to add, you can of course drag and drop that in. Let's see. I'm going to just search a quick photo really quick. Um, let's say, oops, and I can't type. Let's say that we're doing a quick little turkey giveaway. Let me save this image to my computer. If I can find one that will let me save it. There we go. All right, so I just saved a quick photo to my computer and I'm going to drag that over. Of course, it's too big. Let's try one more time. We're just going to grab one and see if it'll let us. Let's try that again. Nope, it doesn't like it because it's saying it's the wrong format. All right, well, we'll keep going. But let's say we were pulling in a turkey image. I'm just going to grab any image now. We'll just do this one here. But let's say we're doing a turkey giveaway and we want to invite all of our contacts to come do the turkey giveaway. We could put the image there. We can set the date and the time. We can put the title is turkey giveaway. I can never type when I'm teaching. Again, all of the width, borders, things like that, you can adjust all of those colors of the text, everything like that. We're going to go back. We can do our description And then we can do our button. Let's say we want them to register so that we know how many turkeys we might need or who might be coming through. Or let's just say we're only giving out a few and we want to have them register to win. You could, of course, have a Google form and link that there. That's going to be the same as your button up top. You can adjust it to fill the container, um, colors, all of that good stuff. Go back. Now, the next thing we have is a video. Now, one thing with the video, it does have to be a public video. So you'll want to add it to something like YouTube, not necessarily YouTube, but again, something like that, because you do need a public URL. So I'm just going to grab a quick video from YouTube here really quick. We're going to grab that URL and we're going to add that right here where it says video URL. Now, once we have our URL, we still add like a thumbnail photo to the cover of that. So we're just going to go ahead and hit replace. I'm just going to grab this one here. It looks the exact same, but that is okay. Um, you can add any photo there. You can switch it. We'll do, what else does, we'll just grab this one. It's the same size. So we'll add that right on top. Now, again, you can adjust all of those same things if you want a border on this one or not. But that is your video. Now, lastly is your market snap. So this is where you can put a snapshot of what's going on in a specific neighborhood. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this zip code from my listing that we were using above. And we're going to say Austin, Texas. And as you can see, it's going to start to pull in all of that information. Now, you'll see it's not really pulling information for this specific one. So let's try a different one. Let's grab the zip code off of here and see if it pulls anything different. Unfortunately, these market snaps, you can't adjust the text itself. It's going to, oh, and actually, that was my bad. I didn't select the neighborhood. I forgot a step. So once we select the neighborhood, you'll see it's going to populate all of that information for you. Now, if you find that you don't like the information, like I said, there's not a way to manually adjust the numbers in here. So just keep that in mind. In the event you don't like the information that's pulling or it's not accurate, you would just want to create your own market snap under designs and pull that in. Now, same thing here. You can adjust your text for everything. You can adjust the color of that. It's going to allow you to adjust just those up there, or you can adjust everything. As you can see, it's going to adjust those down here as well. That's up to you. You have your padding around, your position, your border. Once we're done, we're going to go ahead and hit back. Now, those are all the various pieces you can pull in directly to creating your own design. Now, of course, this doesn't look very pretty. We're not going to be sending this out. This is just to give you an example of all of the different content pieces that you can use and how to use them. So once we're done, we can, of course, preview that. We can send over a test to ourselves. And actually, I don't know if they've restored they didn't restore the test option just yet. That should hopefully be back soon. I know they're doing a lot of updates, so bear with them. But there is a test option generally here where you can send that over, see what everything looks like, make sure all of your links are working. Couple things when you are sending that test, when that is restored, again, that contact name's not going to populate. I also like to mention the unsubscribe is not going to show up. However, when you physically send this email to any contact, it is going to have an unsubscribe button at the very bottom of the email. So you don't have to worry about including that. It will be there. Once we're done with this one, we're going to go ahead and hit save and close. And it took away my name, so we're going to add that back. Now, as you can see, it is right here. It should update with a photo. It just takes a little bit of time for that to show up. Before we jump into actually sending out our email, I want to go back and take a quick look at the templates with you guys. So we're going to do create a design, email, and next. And then we get to choose from all of these templates. Now, again, You can choose any of these. If you're doing an open house, you don't necessarily have to use the open house one, but you of course can. So we're going to go ahead and click on the open house one. And let's say we're doing an open house for our listing we were talking about before. We can go ahead and adjust this date and time. Let's see, it's November 16th. We'll leave it at 10 to 3. Again, you can change the size, all of that good stuff. If you want this to be red instead, you can of course change that. As you can see, it changes as soon as I do it. We're going to go ahead and go back. And then we can replace our photo. So again, we're going to hit replace. I'm going to go to listing images, and this is where I'm going to search that listing again. I'm going to do, again, same house, view, same thing. Pick the image you want to use. We'll go with the same one. It's going to pull that in. Now I need to adjust my other information. So uh, it's Austin, Texas. Now all of that's different size, so we do want to make sure everything is the same. If we wanted to change the font and things like that, go ahead. You're going to want to make sure your information here is correct. So we have a 5-bed. We have 6 baths. Square foot. Oops. And then our price point. Oh, that's way too big. 16. There we go. All right, so now we have all of our information. Now, of course, you can add additional photos. The only thing is you're going to have to search that listing each time to pull those other photos. Let's view, grab the one at the pool. Do this one. All right. Hope to see you there. Again, pulling all of this information. One thing I like to point out, your license number is not required in your marketing profile. So that's one that we said strongly recommended. If for any reason you see an error when you're trying to complete this and you're missing your license number, that could potentially be why you're seeing that error. So make sure that's plugged into your marketing profile so that it can pull your license number here as well as down here. That's going to pull all that information. Looks like we got the team logo broken image. So this is one of the things I told you about earlier. If you don't have a team logo in some emails, you may see this broken photo. This will show this way when you send this email out. So you do want to go and update that marketing profile so that it is pulling that in. So let's just grab that really quickly, throw it back in. It should update instantly. You shouldn't have to refresh if you just update it and save. It should pull that right back in. There we go. So no more broken image. We're good to go. We could then save this and start sending this one out. So I'm going to do open house. We're going to name it 1114 again, and we're going to do save and close. Maybe. There it goes. All right, so now we have our 2 new emails that we created. Now, the next thing we want to do in order to actually physically send out these emails to our database is we want to head into campaigns. And that looks kind of like a megaphone over here. And every once in a while, you got to refresh your screen. So we are now in our campaigns dashboard where you can create a campaign and then you're going to select the type. Now, before we do that, I want to take a look at the emails section of the campaigns. This is your dashboard for that. So you have emails, how many you've mailed in the last 30 days, how many recipients, opens, clicks, how many emails you have left. So every KW account has 5,000 per month that are included. If you need more than 5,000, you can of course upgrade your account. That will bring you into your Marketing profile. Nope. Okay. Should bring you into your marketing profile or the marketplace where you can upgrade your account and subscribe for more emails. Um, Now we also have the ability to search if you're looking for a past email that you've created. Maybe you did a turkey giveaway last year and you want to redo it. If you have mailed, scheduled, archived drafts or all, you can switch that to view those. You can select the goal. So when you're creating an email campaign, it's going to ask, what's your goal of this email? What's the purpose? So you can filter based on that. You can decide, am I looking for a past email that was through Command or MailChimp? And then to the right, we have email lists. We're going to come right back to this. Below, we have our overview. This is going to give you the name of the email that you sent, what the status is. So again, that's if it's mailed, scheduled, archived, the date that that was created, how many sends, opens, clicks that email had. You also have the goal. And to the right, you have three little dots where you can duplicate that. So again, if you did a giveaway last year and you want to recreate it, you can duplicate or you can archive that campaign. Now, if we were to click on one of these, it's going to give you even more insight into your email. So, sents, delivereds, opens, how many were clicked on, the unsubscribed people, as well as not sent and not opened. So you can view all of that information here. It's going to give you their email, name, everything like that. Now, if we go back, and actually, I'm just going to go back to campaigns. It might be faster. Sometimes I get a little click happy when it's not moving. If you ever get stuck though, that refresh button is your best friend. Back to emails though, we're going to click email lists. So before we send our email, we want to make sure we have a list of contacts to send to. So this is where you come to create those. Now you have Command Mail or MailChimp. The email that you're using, you can refresh and you can create a new list. So when creating a new list, you can look, you name the list. So we'll do 1114 again. You can look for contacts by searching them, name or email. You can search for specific tags. Let's see. I think we have a class one, maybe not. Nope. But you can search by specific tags that you may want to use. Now, one thing when you're searching for a tag and creating a list, if you're adding new contacts to your database that have that tag, your email list is not going to automatically update. So each time you are sending out an email campaign using a specific tag, you're going to want to make sure you update your list to make sure everyone with that tag is included, because currently they don't automatically upload. But once your list is ready to go, you can still, of course, go back to it. You can edit that, um, remove people, add people, whatever you want to do. So this is great if you had one for a tag. And there's the class one I was looking for. You can add them by this. Now, once we have our email list created, we know who we're sending this to. We can go ahead and go to emails and we can create a campaign. Now, again, we're doing email today. I'm going to do 1114 class. And then we select what our purpose is. So why are we sending this email? What is the goal? I'm going to do attract buyers. We're going to go ahead and use the open house um, email that we created. And then you decide, am I using Command Mail or MailChimp? And we're going to do create. Now from there, we create the rest of our email campaign. So one thing, campaign name, that is internal only. That doesn't go out to any of your contacts, so you can name it whatever you want. The account that those replies are going to go to. So when someone replies to your email, it's going to go to that email. This is where you select your list. So we're going to do this one here. Send from. You can edit these. So if you need to change what email that is, or what the name is, that's going to be under your command email. It's not available at the moment. Again, lots of things under maintenance right now, but we're hopeful it'll be back soon. But that is where you can adjust the name as well as the reply to email. The subject. So we're going to name this open house, or actually, I'm just going to put the address for today. Keep it simple. And then we're going to select our content. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and we're going to select our design. And again, it's going to bring me into that design editor just to make sure I don't need to make any additional changes. Nothing got updated. Let's say our open house time changed, something like that we could, of course, quickly update that. I'm going to do save and close from here. And you'll see on the right-hand side, I now have a preview of my email, what that looks like. Um, I can, of course, change it if I selected the wrong one. And then up here in the top right, we have preview. Again, this is another place you usually have send a test email, but unfortunately that's not there at the moment. Once everything's good to go, we can go ahead and hit send. Or if we want to schedule this to go at a specific time, you can do that as well. So let's say we want this to go out the 19th. Um, let's say we wanted to go at 1:41, apply date and time. There we go. Schedule. Now, once we hit schedule, you'll see right here in the top, it has my new email campaign. And on that date, it's going to change to processing. And once it's processed, usually it sits in processing for 24 hours. Then it will show mailed and start to provide some of those additional numbers for you. Now, I am going to go ahead and cancel this campaign because I don't want this to actually go anywhere. And you can see instantly update the status. I can also archive that and move it off this list. All right, so that is our email campaigns. We are done a little bit early with covering all of our content, which is great because I do like to have room at the end of class for any questions you might have. So if you have questions, drop those in the chat for me. If something comes to mind after you get off of this class today, you can email our support email at support@scottleroymarketing.com. I will drop that in the chat for you guys as well. And again, you can watch this recorded video on our YouTube channel as soon as that's uploaded, which is generally within 24 hours of the class being held. So I'm going to hit stop record. If you guys have questions, let's drop those in the chat. And if you don't, feel free to jump off. I just want to say thank you for coming today, and I hope this class was helpful. Have a wonderful day.